Oh, hey, what's up? It's the Purple Yeti. He's back. Better than ever. Wearing my Texas State champion shirt. Hey, guess what? Kansas State remembered that yesterday against Texas Tech, and hopefully they'll remember that for the rest of the year. I am, of course, the Purple Yeti with my ridiculous moniker. I got some Dr. Pepper 10, feeling pretty bold, manly with my scruffy beard, but I'm feeling kind of manly after the beatdown Kansas State had on Texas Tech. I did not see that coming. Whew, excuse me, and I gotta believe that I'm going to be a little more confident in the rest of these games. Oklahoma State, Baylor, TCU, and Texas, mostly Texas teams. Oklahoma State, hey, guess what? You're ranked in the BCS, but I'll get to that in a second. But let's start out with that game yesterday. Yeah, it was close in the first half, like a lot of their games, and then, boom, adjustments. You know, it couldn't just be Bill Snyder. I don't know if it is just him. Maybe it is. Maybe his assistants are an extension of his masterful mind. But I don't think that is. I think what he has is some great, beautiful assistants. Man, he craps out assistants like no other. Lest you be reminded about Mangino, Stoops, Levitt. I mean, just take your pick. The Snyder tree, which is an extension of the French tree, the Hayden Fry tree from Iowa, but you know, Big Ten sucks. It's blossoming out even more. Now you're seeing great assistant head coaching. The second half adjustments couldn't just be from Snyder himself. The coaches prepare just as well as the kids, and you see it in the second half every week. And it's just it's a true attest to their stick-to-itiveness and their ability to kind of fix their mistakes and to take advantage of the other team's mistakes. If you read my column, the old pick it and stick it Friday, the factor for me of the game was mistake-free football. That's what you saw. As much as Texas Tech wanted to grind down Kansas State, and they did a good job. They pretty much put Kansas State game on Kansas State, and they did a pretty good job. The wide receivers from Texas Tech are way better than Kansas State's, and Seth Dougie, whoever, opened up really well, and it was scary there for a second. But mistakes, a tipped fumble toward the end of the first half, and then a tipped interception. I mean, Kansas State forced turnovers, forced mistakes, won the game. Once they started to get more control and take advantage of those mistakes, things settled down. They got a little bit more comfortable, and they started to play their style of the game. Blowout city, 55 to 20 something or other. I think there was like the last touchdown or whatever. So, congrats to Wildcats. You are still the Texas State champs. Remember that for the next month and first week of December. But you're not facing a Texas team next week. You're facing Oklahoma State. Bang bang, Cowboys, who just happened to be number 25 in the BCS. So, yeah, they're going to be hungry. I think, well, actually, believe it or not, Oklahoma State controls their own destiny now. If they win out, they will win the Big 12. Yeah, that's who Oklahoma State has left. They got to go to Bedlam, and they got to face Kansas State. I don't know if they play West Virginia yet, or Texas Tech, but that's what Oklahoma State's looking at. Hey, they're the 2011 Big 12 champions. So they're not a force to be reckoned with. You gotta stay grounded, and you know, they got a younger, lower experienced quarterback in Colin Klein. That'll probably be the factor of that game. I haven't really heard anything about their defense. Haven't really heard anything at all. We'll find out this weekend at the Bill Snyder Family Stadium when that game plays on. Big 12. I'll stick with the Big 12 before I go to the other things. Texas almost gave us another great opportunity for fat Kansas head coach to say $signs. But Kansas, like on the field, tripped up and didn't follow through on their end of the deal. Yeah, Texas got out of Lawrence with a win 21-17. Case McCoy came in at the last second. Remember what I said, Texas fans. If you still have a quarterback controversy this late into the year, you don't have a quarterback. I hope you guys get that fixed next year. You need to stop kowtowing to some prima donnas and just pick your guy and go with it. And hey, it's okay to turn away some kids. Alright? They may look good in high school, but it's okay to say goodbye. You know why? Because no matter what you do, there's always going to be enough talent out of the state of Texas that they're going to go somewhere else and they're going to do really damn well. I mean, there's just no way to hide that. So, you know, have some balls and, like, say no to some kids and then pick one guy and then go with him. Because you start second-guessing yourself, you start losing trust, you start losing leadership. You see it in the kids. You know, they'll give up at a heartbeat now, this team. So, Texas, you know, get your act together at least maybe next year or at least a couple years after Daniel Sams gets done playing. Or, you know, you get a big coaching change. The MAC might go away. Who knows? Anyway, that's that. Baylor, Iowa State. Is that who played? I gotta admit, I didn't watch any of the games. All I watched really was K-State and Notre Dame, Oklahoma. So let me get to Indiana, Oklahoma here in a second, because got some beef. Whoa, dip-a-doo-ba-doo. Yeah, TCU played somebody, maybe Oklahoma State? Was that who it was? Yeah. So, Oklahoma State whooped up on TCU. Guess what? Oklahoma State's 3-1. TCU is 2-3 in the Big 12. Not looking so tough this year. Fair enough. Iowa State beat Baylor. Baylor is 0-4 in the conference, folks. That Nick Florence kid is not producing a winner. So just like for the record, TCU, Oklahoma State, and Baylor and Texas are all on the radar for Kansas State. They all look pretty winnable. Again, in true Kansas State fashion, the next opponent is probably the most dangerous. And actually, that's a good mantra at the end of the season. Your next opponent is always your most dangerous. Oklahoma State's next. Baylor, Iowa State. I mean, Iowa State's a great team. I'm guessing it was in Ames. But it's Baylor on the road. Kansas State going to Baylor. We'll find out. Notre Dame, Oklahoma. You know, after such a great win for TCU, Oklahoma had a chance not to fumble it all away. I mean, every year Oklahoma's at least good for one loss, or really one bad trip up, and then they kind of do their thing. They had two. I'll give Notre Dame credit. They played pretty good. I did not know about that freshman kid, Golson, whatever. I didn't know he was that good. He's a pretty good kid. But, wow, the receivers did no favors for Landry Jones. That was his career right there. And while I'm at it, the center did no favors to Landry Jones either. Ugh, terrible. So, with that, guess what? 6 undefeated, I think. 5 or 6, maybe 7. I don't know. A lot of undefeateds lost yesterday. Fortunately, one of them was not Kansas State. Unfortunately, Oklahoma did Kansas State no favors, and Notre Dame won. They're still undefeated. And as expected, media guys, you know, half-cocked journalists, want to throw their weight around the history of the game and all that other stuff, jumping on that Notre Dame bandwagon, again, trying to look over Kansas State. That's great. Keep it that way. Florida's out of the picture. Oregon is in the picture, but the excuse I'm getting are the eye test. I'm going to throw any kind of logic out the window or actual playing, and I'm just going to say that they passed the eye test. I mean, what a great bullshit equalizer the eye test is. Anyway, we'll find out how Oregon does here in the next couple of weeks. They actually have some ranked teams to play, you know. It helped that Oregon State lost and USC lost yesterday, because that's going to weaken Oregon's strength of schedule. But that's the BCS for you, folks. And I just want to remind everybody, after this latest BCS that just came out, Kansas State still has 2 BCS ranked teams left on their schedule. I don't know how, I don't know why, but Texas is still ranked, and Oklahoma State made the rankings thanks to the coaches poll. Well, and some other rankings, I guess. So that's what you got. You got 2 ranked teams left for Kansas State. You have maybe 2 or 3 for Oregon. Oregon's got Oregon State and USC, and they might play USC again, but frankly, I think another loss or 2 for USC, and they're just done. But go USC. And then Notre Dame has USC as their only left ranked remaining person on the schedule. So, I mean, it's going to come down to the numbers again, and I'm sure somebody's going to left out. And frankly, I would not be surprised if Oregon or Notre Dame jumps Kansas State if everybody wins out. I'm a Kansas State fan. I'm grounded. I'm a realist. I've seen it all happen before. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I'm going to say that I'm not surprised. I think the only thing that would be really good for Kansas State right now is just to focus on next week and go into the next game, so on, so forth. So that's the only thing they can really do, is just focus on those Cowboys and just kind of win your games. If that many undefeateds went down this last weekend, and you got 4 weeks of games left, more undefeateds are going to go down. Guess what? LSU and Alabama's next week. That's going to be a huge game. You're going to find out, we're going to find out just how it all shakes out at the end of the year. It's nice to pontificate it, and especially love this newfound Notre Dame love out of the air. So it looks like Oregon's got USC next, so they'll probably knock USC out of the rankings. Not sure it's going to help them out later on down the road. Don't know. Oh, Oregon does have 3 ranked teams left, though. So, you know, if Stanford trips up and gets D-ranked or low enough ranked, you know, you could see that. I mean, they got they have to play Oregon State, so I mean, they got to play Colorado. That'll be easy. So, you know, Oregon State beats Stanford, knocks Stanford out of the rankings. Then all of a sudden they're playing a ranked Oregon. It's all mishmash, really. So I guess the big takeaway is that your most dangerous opponent is your next opponent. I think every team is thinking about that right now. Everything else is everybody's just trying to make a case for their teams, and you know, papers need to be written, blogs need to be posted. Sports media journalists, guys, lowest common denominator. Not of journalists, they're close, but of playing to the crowd and generating more buzz and more interest. There's a fine line between reporting the news, op-edding about it, and then actually trying to influence. And don't get me wrong, I mean, sports is awesome. Sports writers are not, because they're the most conservative when it comes to going away from their judgment. Pretty much they make a call at the beginning of the year, and then they do everything in their best power to kind of justify their somewhat paid-for opinion, which is all really just an opinion. It's fun stuff, granted. You know, it's fun fodder to watch on the side, but I'm so happy that the AP poll is not a factor in the BCS rankings right now, because you just see how out of whack it is. So, you know, they can just like whine and complain. Tune it out. Every football team left that's undefeated, guys, tune it out. Next game at a time, and that's about it. So that's my review this week. Check out the football feelings post. I did something pretty simple, little brats. I'm still feeling effective of it, if you know what I mean. That's why we got a little bit of candle scenting going on over there. It smells, actually it's a mix of fruit and other things that are just not good. Anyway, that's the show. I'll be back next week. Hey, I'm at another music festival because I'm in Austin. I know, humble brag, douchebag right here. Purple Yeti bag, that's me. That'll happen. I'm not gonna watch any of the games, and you know what? I'm so nervous. I'm probably a good thing for me. So go Cats. You got any comments? I'm gonna do the one handy. Give me a comment down below. And we'll see you guys next time.